me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money. Show me the money. Do you love this black man? I love the black man. Show me the money.
I will, Jerry Maguire. But wait, do you mean show me the money or show me like show you me the money? I'll get back to you on that one.
Get it on.
What is up, everybody? It's Jaden coming to you from right here. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this video. I'm going to try and keep what I've got to say pretty quick because I've got a couple-minute clip at the end of this that I really wanted to end the stream on. So hopefully I can get through all the information that I wanted to relatively quickly and give you enough time to stick around and watch that at the end. The main story for today is money. And where is it going to? And who wants to leave more money in our pockets, my pockets, your pockets, everybody's pockets, and who doesn't? And right off the bat, I want to thank Unacceptable Fringe who pointed this out. I did see something about this a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't really have a good idea on how to use it, but I did see something like this a couple weeks ago, and he brought it to the forefront again today, and I'm hoping to get this out there because, again, I do want to show who is looking to leave more money in everyday Canadians' pockets and who isn't. So let's get into this story for the Winnipeg Sun, and it is no debate, no vote, $40 billion gone. That's right. On April 1st, the Liberals, our great Liberals, decided to go on a bit of a spending spree and drop $40 billion in spending. $40 billion. How many people heard of this? How many people checked out the Winnipeg Sun? Why wasn't this picked up by mainstream media, CBCs, the CTVs? Why has this just been flooded across news agencies? I don't know. But here's just another example of how we, normal citizens, normal Canadians, everyday workers, are having our tax dollars spent. We are getting taxed more and more so we can just hear about spending after the fact. Let's prorogue government. Let's not actually go to work. Let's give ourselves bonuses, and you guys can pay for it all. This story goes down to break down how it was spent. $150 million extra going to the CBC, which is great, because our CSIS, it was either CSIS or CSEC, that only got $120 million extra in spending. So that makes sense. CBC, media gets 150, our national security, an extra 120. We see where our values lie with the Liberals. So it just goes on to break things down, and it's just pretty disgusting in that, they just can't stop themselves from spending our money. Yet somehow we're to believe that this is all going to come out in the wash and numbers jive. Really, Mark? Really? You're going to tell me that I spend $5, but if you spend $10, your $10 equals what I spend? Relatively speaking, that's maybe a little simplistic, but let's listen to this question, shall we?
Good morning, Karina Roman, CBC News. In your platform, your COSA platform you released today, you outline almost $130 billion in new spending, but a shrinking deficit over the next 4 years. How and why should Canadians believe your numbers add up?
Well, first off, thanks for the question. The numbers do add up very much. And I'd make a couple of distinctions here. What we're doing is we're taking government spending, which has been growing too fast. It's been growing at 9%, the operating spending, and we're focusing in on that, reducing duplication, finding efficiencies on through the delivery of various programs, using technology, capping the federal public service, which has grown by 40% over the last 10 years. So a series of measures that are going to make government more effective, reduce the cost of that spending, reduce the rate of growth of that spending. And then the second thing that we're doing, very importantly, so that's spending less. And the second thing that we're doing is we're not spending that amount of money, we're investing that amount of money.
We're not spending that money, we're investing that money. They are adding an extra 30 million, 130 billion. Don't quote me on that. I believe it was 130 billion. Anyhow, whatever it is, they are spending more. You cannot make that square fit the circle. There's no way that you can make that happen. The argument is that, oh, when you spend more, there's going to be a multiplier that comes back. That has been the idea that Mark Carney has been driving with Trudeau in power for the last 10 years, I guess for the last 5, and nothing has come back. We have been hemorrhaging opportunities left, right, and center. It doesn't make sense. The only way to make this work is if we get taxed even more and if they get to take more of what we are working towards. It doesn't add up. Now, on to a brighter story, and that is the conservative platform, which was laid out in, it wasn't an odd text-based platform and layout like the liberal one was. You can act like it's so much better. It looks so much better. That's not to say web design is a key component of becoming a great prime minister, but my God, the difference, it's like internet of 1990 compared to today. So it just goes down. You've got taxes, tax breaks, and all of these go into how and the ways that they look to do it. It's not just, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. As much as Carney wants to tell you that he wrote it on a napkin, no. This man, Pierre Poilievre, has been working towards this for his career and has come up with a plan. Carney has come in off the street, decided, he sneezed in a napkin and said, oh, if I read this correctly, it looks like my snot is telling me to become the prime minister. He doesn't have a platform. Anything that he has said has been pulled from the conservative platform. His values have not changed. He is saying what he needs to say in order to get elected, and then he will fall back to his old ways. It's simple. He's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, and it seems to be working. Everybody on the liberal side, you've had a drink of the Kool-Aid, and you just can't seem to step away and look, just take a 5-foot view, 10-foot view of what is actually happening. Compare things, do your own research. His book that he worked on essentially espoused Marxist ideologies. He hates capitalism. He doesn't want our economy to grow. He wants us to be under the thumb of the government. We will own nothing and be happy. Denise, a 74-year-old viewer of one of my first videos that I put out, I do want to thank her. I'm going to be winding down here, so I want to thank her. She made my day, being a boomer zoomer that will be voting conservative, and God bless her. I want to end off on this little clip from that age group. An individual who introduces Pierre Poilievre at CARP, the Canadian Association for Retired Persons, introducing him in a banger way. He's a stud. God bless this man. God bless you, Denise, and the friends that I hope that you have convinced to vote conservative. And, we're 5 days away. We are hopefully 5 days away from some positive change. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, do give this gentleman the couple minutes that he deserves, because it is a great one. As for me, I'm out. As always, stay healthy, stay safe. A lot of love. Enjoy the clip.
Now, a facile reading of that 2015 election attributes the come-from-behind victory to the fact that Justin brought in younger voters, and there is some truth to that. But the deeper truth is that older demos vote in much larger numbers than younger ones, and that it was his newfound ability to move the much bigger older vote that moved Justin's needle towards victory. Well, here we are, 10 years later, and this time it's the tired and divided liberals who are in power. The conservatives are now the challengers, and it's time for the Canadian Conservative Coalition to come by here and seek the Zoomer vote by offering ideas, proposals, clarifications at a moment when the age of OAS eligibility still seems to be an open question, and people are asking why the 65 plus can't have the same vital supports that now exist for the 75 plus. If that talk and those commitments in 2015 started a shift of seniors away from the Conservatives and contributed to a groundswell that brought an upset victory, then is it not possible that the speech that you're about to give and the commitments that you're about to make might shift the attention of older demographics back to the Conservatives? Is it not possible that lightning might strike a second time and perhaps we could pull off another upset victory that starts right here and right now? We know, Mr. Poilievre, that you, should you win, would up the amount that seniors can earn or save without attracting taxes, because your party has already announced those platform points at the start of the campaign, but in the hurly-burly of the campaign, they went largely unnoticed. So we'd like to hear more about that from you, and perhaps any additional thoughts that you may have had in this vein. For example, might you commit not to roll back the rollback? And is it possible that you might even commit to leave OAS and GIS entitlements where they stand today? Now, the Zoomers don't want you to think that we are only interested in our own bread and butter and what's just in it for ourselves. We're concerned about society at large. We're concerned about the cost of living, about housing, about home care, and particularly about the crime in the streets and the connection between that crime, the alarming growth in that crime, and the reckless, cynical immigration policy which has brought to our shores populations marinated in hatred of the West, hatred of Jewish people, and who brazenly, repeatedly display their bile in a fashion that is a stain on Canadian democracy. We'd like to hear you address that. And finally, Mr. Poilievre, if you would permit me one personal comment. It's widely known that your handlers have been holding back your natural exuberance in order to project an image of gravitas and restraint, but I think they may have gone too far. I mean, really, is it necessary to be as boring as Mr. Carney in order to prove that you can be a leader? I believe that Canada is ready for a passionate statement from a passionate leader who can evoke the country we all love and answer the simple question that is on everyone's lips. What happened to Canada? Where did it go? What happened to the decent, democratic country we had and could still recognize as recently as 10 years ago? What and who is responsible for those 10 lost years, and how should they be held accountable?